Okay, so Lewis Smith here of MMA UK, joined by Cage Warriors featherweight Mads Burnell. Mads, you've got a big fight coming up, buddy. You're going to be fighting for the featherweight title against Dean Trueman. Not too long away now, about a month away. Going to be taking place at Cage Warriors 106 in London. First of all, can you just tell us a little bit about how you got this news? Because obviously it was a scheduled fight with Soren back, this one. And can you tell us a bit about how you found this one out that you were going to be fighting?
Yeah, I was actually in Italy with one of my coaches, supposed to do a jiu-jitsu tournament, and then I was just chilling around in Rome, and then one of my other coaches called me and said, "Yo, do you want to fight Truman?" I was like, "What? It wasn't CERN supposed to fight him?" And then it's like, "Yeah, but something happened. Do you want to fight him?" Like, yeah, let's go, and send me the contract. Send me contract, signed it right away.
So you accepted that fight straight away, no issues with you?
Of course, of course.
And did you hear any reasons? Obviously, Soren pulled out. He wasn't sure. What was your thoughts on Soren pulling out?
Like it's sad for CERN, but he probably have his reasons. So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, a lost opportunity for him, but a gained opportunity for you. What's your thoughts on your opponent, Dean Trueman? He's a champion. He's a very good fighter. What's your thoughts?
I think Dean, he's a solid fighter all around. He fights with a chip on his shoulder, and I like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a good scrap, and I'm looking forward to see what he's all about.
Yeah. Anything specific you're expecting from Dean as well? I know I caught up with Dean a little while ago at the last Cage Warriors in Cardiff, and he was very sort of very praiseful of you. He said that he felt you were actually a better opponent than Soren. Is there any sort of thing specifically you were looking at when you fight Dean?
No, like Dean, he's a champion for a reason. Like he's solid everywhere. So like Tyson says, like everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So ain't no reason for like having a game plan. Just go in there. It's my skill set against his skill set, and yeah, that's it.
It's been working out quite well for you so far with Cage Warriors, isn't it? You've had a couple of fights now. Last time out, obviously in Copenhagen, a brilliant night and a brilliant finish for yourself. What's your experience with Cage Warriors been like so far?
I think like Cage Warriors, I think it's probably the promotion where I feel like I got treated the best by the staff. I feel the staff is very like cool and professional, and like it's just been a great experience fighting for Cage Warriors, and being around the people that is like working for Cage Warriors is just super experience.
Yeah. Talk about a little bit about last time, because I was over in Copenhagen. Obviously, we met. We had a little chat after the fight. It was an incredible night, wasn't it? An absolutely crazy atmosphere with the Danish fans over there.
A crazy atmosphere. It's like crazy. Like I told some guys, I fought at the Echo Arena for like UFC. I think there was probably like 15,000, and in Denmark there was only 3,500, which is a lot for a Danish MMA event. But the atmosphere was like 10 times as crazy as in the Echo Arena. But of course, that has something to do with everybody rooting for me. But like, that was crazy. I remember when I walked into the cage, I was like, damn, this is crazy. Yeah, it was just a super cool experience.
And you were celebrating after that win as well. I saw you were it was a mad night, wasn't it? It was one of the most intense nights I've ever experienced.
I think like that MMA event was what put MMA on the map in Denmark. Like usually Denmark have been a boxing nation, but I feel like that event was like the event that made MMA above boxing in Denmark.
Yeah, would you say there's a big hunger for MMA in Denmark at the moment? Because
right now there is, because we have a lot of good fighters on the international level. So people are starting to get the eyes up for MMA. Also because the networks is starting to show a lot more, like a lot of different promotions. So people don't only know UFC. They're starting to get their eyes on ONE FC and Cage Warriors and Bellator and UFC. So people is getting like a pretty good eye for MMA now in Denmark.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And obviously you're going from one big card over in Copenhagen to another big one in London. Cage Warriors 106, Night of Champions. There's a few title fights, obviously. It's an insane card.
Yeah, it's a crazy card. Like the whole main card is title fights, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to mean a lot for someone like yourself. You're you're not just an MMA fighter, but you're a big MMA fan. I sort of picked that up last time we spoke. What does it mean that this is going to be an historical card, and you're going to get to say you were on that and potentially even get a belt on that night?
I haven't really thought too much about that, to be honest. I have this task ahead of me, and that's really what I'm focused about. And then I'm sure after everything is done, then I realize how crazy it really is.
Yeah. What are the fights you're looking forward to other than yourself? Because, like you said, there's a lot of good ones. You've got obviously Houston and Dalby. How do you see that one going down?
To be honest, I haven't really seen that much of Ross Houston. I actually haven't even seen one of his fights, so I don't really know. But I can't really root against my countryman. So of course, I hope Dalby goes home with the belt.
Yes, it's definitely going to be a big night.
Yeah.
Just for fans who are not so familiar with you in the UK, Mads, obviously you've been about a little bit. You fought on the UFC in the past. Just for people who don't know you so well, can you just tell them a little bit about sort of how you got started in MMA and your career so far?
So, I've been basically doing martial arts my whole life. My dad and my granddad was Greco-Roman wrestlers, so I started wrestling when I was like 6 years old. Did that for a couple of years, and then I played around with some Asian martial arts, which I thought was super boring. Then I started boxing when I was like 13, and MMA when I was 16, 17. Jiu-jitsu when I was 18, turned pro when I was 19, and yeah, I've been around the block for quite some time.
Yeah, and you fought on the UFC as well. I mean, I was looking at a UFC record. I think you were 2-1 in the UFC, wasn't you?
I was 1-2.
Right, 1 and 2. Yeah, apologies.
Yeah.
So what happened with there when obviously you got released and you've come back and gone to Cage Warriors and got 2 big wins straight away? I mean, was there any sort of resentment that you got released on not really a sort of that bad a run?
No, not really. I was like, as soon as I got the news that they were going to release me, I was like, can I just get my release papers ASAP? Because I've heard about people that is like in this gray area where they're like released, but they haven't gotten their release papers,
Yeah.
and that can take a lot of time. So it's like, please just get me my release papers ASAP so I can go out and find another promotion that want to like fucking that want to have me so I can fight. Because after that Arnold Allen fight, it was like a crazy good performance. I was like just playing around in there, and then unfortunately I got caught, and then I just wanted to get back in there like ASAP. So I just, please give me my release papers so I can go and fight like right away. And then they were super cool to me and listened to what I had to say and gave me my release papers. And then I talked to Ian Dean, and he was like, "What? You got released? We really want to have you." And I was like, "Yeah, of course, perfect fit. Let's go."
Yeah, brilliant. And obviously you've had 2 wins, and now this third fight for you could be a potential title win. What's it going to mean for you to take that belt home to Denmark?
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a big achievement. But the belt, how can I say it? Every fight is just a fight. Even if like the fight you have ahead of you is always the most important fight. So if there had been a belt or there hadn't been a belt, it would still be the most important fight of my career. It's just a bonus that there's a belt on the line right now, and especially when it's such a recognized belt as Cage Warriors belt is, right? So that's just super cool.
Yeah. And you see yourself back in the UFC with a win over Dean?
One more time.
Do you see yourself back in the UFC with a victory over Dean?
I don't know. I'm not the dude to make the call. I just take one fight at a time and win one fight at a time. And if I do that, like I say, it's logic where I'm going to end up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of UK fans will know you, Mads, from that fight you had with Arnold Allen. Like you said yourself, you were very dominant in that fight. You were putting on a great performance, and then obviously you got caught. I mean, what was your takeaway from that fight? And obviously, the disappointment I imagine you must have felt after that.
Yeah, but listen, you can't. When you go into a fight, you can never control the result. What you can control is like your performance, right? Everybody can get caught. Like, it's not always the better fighter that wins the fight.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it just isn't. It's not always the dude with the best skill set or the most heart that wins the fight. So I went in there and I performed very good. The result I cannot control. So of course I was disappointed, but I went in there and performed, and it was a good performance. What more can I do? Like,
Yeah.
it's just on to the next one.
Yeah. No, it's a good attitude to have. I mean,
It's
is
just
that
it.
work on
I think like that thing with like winning all the time, and like that's a social media kind of mentality. Because if you look at all the old school boxers like Henry Armstrong, Willie Pep, and these old school Sugar Ray Robinson and all these guys, all of these good dudes, they had like 20 losses on their record, but they were still like recognized as some of the greatest fighters of all time. Roberto Duran, all these guys, they had losses on their record. Then in comes Floyd Mayweather, and now everybody wants to be undefeated. Like, that's bullshit. Undefeated men only exist in the movies.
So a loss is not something that sort of affects you mentally. It's just it's not in your mindset really to worry about that kind of thing, I guess.
Of course, I don't go in there wanting to lose.
Yeah.
I'm fighting my heart out. Like, I'm going out. If you like, yeah, I'm fighting my heart out. But it's not like you can think about a loss for like 5 minutes and then try to like correct what you did wrong, and then that's it. It's in the past. What's in the past is in the past. That's it. On to the next one.
A lot of fighters will say as well that a loss, they actually learn more from losing than they do from winning. Is that something you'd agree with from the losses you've had in your career?
I don't really know. Like, sometimes I think it's bullshit. Like, let's say you get knocked out in 5 seconds. Oh, I learned more from a loss than I learned from. Hell no, you got a concussion from that loss. That's what the hell you got. You didn't learn shit. So it's kind of like 50-50 is how you look at it.
Case by case thing, isn't it? I suppose.
What?
It's a case by case.
It's a case by case thing. You just go in there and fight, perform. That's it.
Yeah, brilliant. And how's your preparation been going for this one, Mads? Obviously, like you said, it's a big fight on a big card. How have you been preparing for this one?
Just like preparing like I usually do, with like good sparring, everything's just going how it usually goes. Good physical training. Everything's just good sparring partners. What more can I say? It's like it's the same old, same old. A fight is a fight.
Yeah. No, fair play. And can we get a prediction from you for this fight then? Obviously, you're going to be facing Dean Trueman, current featherweight champ. How do you see this one going? Can we get you to give us a prediction?
I just go in there and perform to the best of my ability, and that's going to make some fireworks. And you guys can expect fireworks. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what to expect. I just go in there to fight. If you expect anything when you go into a fight, you're stupid.
Fair play. Yeah. No, we're looking forward to it. What I wanted to ask as well, Mads, before I let you go, I know we haven't got too long, but you got a win last time in Denmark. I want to just speak a little bit about that finish, because it was obviously a submission very early, a Japanese necktie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you talk us a little bit through
that? What can I say? Like, yeah, I took him down and I got it. That was it. Like, what more can I say? Yeah, he was just right there for the picking.
Yeah,
and you don't play around. If you can get it early, you take it.
Yeah, don't get paid for overtime.
Exactly, you don't get paid for overtime.
Brilliant. Well, Mads, just want to wish you all the best of luck, buddy. I know obviously it's a huge event for you, and we're all very much looking forward to seeing this fight card in the UK. So, do you think many Danish fans will be coming over to watch you?
I probably think, because Dalby is also fighting, and he got quite a big following in Denmark. So I expect there's probably going to be some Danes yelling our names when we are fighting.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Well, Mads, I just want to wish you all the best for the fight, buddy. Can't wait to watch you perform, and we'll catch up to you on June 29th, okay?
Thank you. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.